Okay, for letter A daw, nasabi, what percentage of the class has a test score between 68 and 82? So, drawing ulit natin yung um, bell curve natin. So, sabi daw, given si mean na 75. Then, given na ang standard deviation natin ay 7. So, saan natin nga gagamitin yun? Kung maalala nyo, di ba, yung hati niyan ay standard deviation. So, ito ay negative 1 standard deviation. So, paano natin gagawin yun? Simply, magiging 75 minus 7. So, ilan yun? 68. Then, dito sa positive side, 75 plus 7 ay 82. Then, ganun din, sunod. Hanggang second deviation. Until makarating tayo ng third. So, 68 minus 7 ay 61. 82 plus 7 ulit ay 89. Then last, third deviation. Meron tayong 61 minus 7, which is 54. And 89 plus 7 ay 96. So, sabi daw kay letter A, ano daw yung percentage ng class na merong test score between 68 and 82. So, nataon na dito sa bell curve natin, given, or alam natin yung exact location ni 68 and 82. So, kung babalikan nyo kanina yung figure natin, from negative 1 standard deviation to positive 1 standard deviation, it encompasses 68.268% ng kabuang values natin. So, yun na yung sagot. So, probability of x is greater than 68 but less than 82 is equal to 68.268%. Sir, paano naman kapag hindi natin alam yung exact location? For example, probability daw na or anong percentage sabihin natin hinahanap ay sabihin natin hindi natin alam to. Ang standard deviation natin, for example, ay 6 lang. Hindi, sige. Balikan natin 7. Pero hindi natin alam kung ano yung exact location. Hindi natin alam yung figure na yan. Hindi nyo maalala to. Hindi nyo maalala yan. So, patin isosolve yun. Meron tayong formula na pwede gamitin pagdating sa normal distribution. So, probability of x is greater than a but less than b. So, range siya tulad nung nandito. Is equal to the definite integral of the Euler's number raised to negative x minus the mean squared divided by 2 standard deviation squared. Divided all over your standard deviation times the square root of 2 pi dx. From with limits a to b. Okay, so yan yung formula. So, try natin i-apply kung same yung kakalabasan dito sa figure natin. Apply natin. Probability of 68 to 82 is equal to definite integral of e is a negative x minus 7 squared divided by 2 times your standard, mali, si, ano pala to? 75. 2 times 7 squared all over 7 times square root of 2 pi. So, dapat same kakalabasan na ito. Your A ay 68 and then 82. So, sabayan nyo ako. I-calculate nyo rin. Definite integral alpha E raised to negative alpha x minus 75. Dapat tama yung mga parenthesis nyo, ha. 2 times 7 squared all over 7 square root of 2 shift pi. Ay, sorry. From 68 to 82. Etong x, excuse me. Etong x, as is yan na, alpha x yan. So, alpha, sa calcu ko, click alpha, tapos yung close parenthesis na sign. Dapat make sure nyo rin na walang nakastore value kay x. Kasi pag may nakastore value sa calcu nyo kay x, iba yung kakalabasan. Okay, so nakuha na ng calcu ko. Same lang kay dito sa figure natin na 68.268%. So, tama. Ito yung formula natin. Tandaan nyo yan. Okay, so for letter B naman, anong sabi? Letter B, approximately how many students have a test score between 61 and 89%? Or 89. So, since given din dito, no, pero assume ulit natin na hindi natin alam, hindi natin maalala ano yan. So, gamitin natin ng formula ulit. So, probability that x is greater than 61 but less than 89 is equal to definite integral is a negative x minus 75 squared all over 2 times 7 squared all over 7 square root of 2 pi from limits 61 to 89 dx. Pagkalimutan si dx. Equal to, ano ang kalabasan? Kung maalala nyo, kanina, yung second, from negative to standard deviation to positive to standard deviation, ang value niya dapat ay 95.45%. No? So, yan dapat yung kakalabasan nung ikakalcu natin. So, sabayan nyo ulit ako i-calcu yan. Definite integral ng alpha e raised to negative alpha x minus 75 squared. Make sure na walang nakastore function kay x. Kasi pag may nakastore function kayo dyan, mamali yung kakalabasan. 2 times 7 squared over 7 square root of 2 shift pi with limits from 61 to 89. Dapat kakalabasan ay 95.45. Medyo mabagal yung calcu ko. Okay, so lumabas ay 0.954499731. So, shift store nyo yan kay A. Ngayon, yun na ba yung sagot? Ang tinatanong daw, how many? Approximately how many students? So, eto, simple, gagawin natin. Number of students. Ilan ba lahat ng students? Ayun no, 800. So, 800 times alpha A. Kasi, ang makuha mo dito yung probability. Ano yung probability na yung score nila ay from 61 to 89. So, 800 times your probability, which is equal to times 800. 763.599 students. Kaso wala namang kalahating tao, di ba? So, round off natin to the nearest whole number. Therefore, number of students ay 764 students. Na yun. Okay? So, murahin muna natin to. Sige, rektanan natin. Letter C. Probability that a student chosen at random has a test score between 54 and 75. So, paano yun? Pwede natin gamitin ulit tong formula na to. Pero since alam naman natin dito sa figure, burahin natin to. alam natin dito sa figure na from the third standard deviation or negative 3 standard deviation to positive 3 standard deviation, ang value niya ay, teka, tama ba? Oh, tama. Ay, dun sa figure natin kanina, ay 99.73%, no? Kaso, ang hinahanap lang natin ay from, check nga natin, probability of x is greater than 54 but less than 75. So, ano yun? From 54 daw up to 75. So, dito lang. Pero ang alam nating value ay ito, 99.73. So, since symmetrical nga ang bell curve, simply, divided by 2 lang. No? So, probability of x is greater than 54 but less than 75 is equal to 49.865%. So, double check natin. Divided by 2 times 100. Tama naman, 49.865%. Yun na yun. Again, pwede nyo rin gamitin ulit to itong formula na to, kung ito yung nakabisado nyo. I prefer din na mas i-memorize nyo to kasi nga, kapag ito lang tinandaan nyo, yung figure ng bell curve, paano na kapag nga hindi included or hindi nyo alam exactly saan yung location niya. So, hindi nyo pwede sabihin, kunyari, ang hinahanap ay probability that x is greater than 65 but less than 73. Oh, hindi nyo alam saan yun. Dito yun. Pero hindi nyo alam exactly ilang percent yun, no? So, I suggest mas i-memorize nyo yung formula na to. Okay? Then, last. Burahin muna natin. Kulang na sa space. Burahin natin to. The next, for letter D. Sabi daw, approximately how many students have a test score greater than 96? No? So, alam natin na itong natitira dito, ilan ulit yan? Diba kasi kabuuan ay 99.73%. So, ang natitira ay, para makuha natin to, tong side lang na to, ay 100 minus or 1, sorry. Ayaw mag-ano nung pen Ayan. Or 1 minus 99.73 divided by 2. Makuha natin ay 0.135. Maba? 1 minus 99.73 divided by 2. Ay. Sorry. So, kakalabasan ay 0.0 0.0112. Tama. 0.00135. No? So, yan yung value nito. Nasa kanan. Kasi, continuous yan eh. Itong data na yan, tuloy-tuloy yan. Ano yan, parang pag ganito. Approaches 0. Pero hindi talaga magiging 0. So, infinitely many siya. No? So, paano natin yun isosolve sa CalQ? Again, yung tanong, approximately how many students daw eh. So, wala ka namang, hindi mo naman pwedeng infinitely many students. So, paano natin isosolve? For example, hindi nga natin alam na yung value nito ay 0.00135. Hindi natin alam yan kasi hindi natin kabisado yung figure. Ang alam natin ay yung formula. So, paano natin isosolve yun? Gamitin ulit natin yung formula. Sulat natin. Probability that x is greater than 96 is equal to the definite integral of Euler's number raised to negative alpha x minus mu natin ay 75 squared divided by 2 times 7 squared all over 7 times square root of 2 pi dx. With limits, ito na. Paano na yung limits natin? Sa a natin ay 96. Kasi greater than 96 eh. So, lower limit natin ay 96. Paano natin masosolve na hanggang, tawag dito, mas mataas pa sa 96 yung score daw. Hindi mo pwede sabing 100 lang. No? Hindi mo pwedeng sabing 100 lang yung score. Kasi diba, ito yung scores. Yan yung mga average score nila eh. Kasi, although exam siya, sabihin natin pwedeng lumagpas ng 100 yung score dahil may mga additional points, no? Kaya nga siya continuous data. Sabihin natin pwedeng 101.5, 102.3. So, marami. Infinitely many siya. So, paano? Pag ang nilagay nyo dyan ay 100 lang, try nyo sa calc nyo ang kakalabasan ay ganito. Ang magiging value ay 0.0011723 which is not equal to 0.00135. So, paano dapat? Since infinitely many nga yung values natin, pwede nating lakihan to. Yung upper limit natin. So, instead na 100, gamitin natin ay 1,000. Pag kinalcule nyo yan, ang kakalabasan na ay ganito. 0.135 na. 135. Okay? So, ayun. Tandaan nyo kapag normal distribution, then ang kinukuha ay lagpas na doon sa hanggang third standard deviation, gamitan nyo na ng mas mataas na upper limit. Okay? So, yun lang naman. Then, yung question ay, approximately how many students? So, simple lang. Multiply natin sa 800. Ang kakalabasan ay 0.00135 times 800. Number of students, 1.08. Wala namang 0.08 na student. So, round off to the nearest whole number, 1 student. No? So, sabi daw, out of 800 students, approximately, isang estudyante lang yung makakuha ng score na greater than 96. Okay? So, next, last example tayo. Proceed tayo sa example ng exponential probability density function. So, sabi daw, we are given that laptops produced by company XYZ last on average for 5 years. The lifespan of each laptop follows an exponential distribution. So, calculate daw the rate parameter. Ano si rate parameter? So, rate parameter is your ratio of your mean, or simply, yung lambda natin. Then, write the probability density function. Tapos, i-graph daw natin siya, or our f of x. Then, what is the probability that a laptop, f of x, will last less than 3 years? So, probability that x is less than 3. The next, what is the probability that a laptop will last more than 10 years? So, probability that x is greater than 10. And last, what's the probability that a laptop will last between 4 and 7 years? So, probability of x is greater than 4 but less than 7. So, for letter A, simply inaanap daw sa atin si rate parameter or our lambda. Kung babalikan niyo yung formula, lambda is equal to 1 over our mean, which is mu, equal to 1 over, ano ba yung mean? Given na yung mean natin. On average, for 5 years. No? So, 1 over 5. Yan na yun. Then, letter B. For letter B daw, pinapasolve si PDF natin. Then, graph daw. So, unahin natin si PDF. Our PDF or f of x is equal to, may formula siya na lambda times e raised to negative lambda x. Or we can rewrite it that f of x is equal to, lambda natin is equal to 1 over 5 or simply 0.2 e raised to negative 0.2 x. Sir, anong value ni x? Wala pa kasi nga function pa lang siya. So later ito yung formula na gagamitin natin sa pag-solve ng ibang values. Okay? So yan na yun. Then graph daw. Sorry, masyadong mababa. Okay, for our graph, we have 0, then your x-axis and your f of x axis. Sabi daw, meron tayong f of x na 0.2. So, kung simula sa 0, isubstitute nyo yung value at 0. F of x is equal to 0.2 e raised to negative 0.2 times 0. Ano kakalabasan yan? 0.2 alpha e raised to negative 0.2 times 0. F of x is equal to 0.2. So, alam nyo kung saan siya nakadikit. Dito mismo sa lambda natin, no? So, again, ang main characteristic ni exponential PDF ay f of x decreases exponentially as x increases. So, ganito yung graph natin. Yan. So, yan na yun. Okay? So, letter C. Proceed tayo letter C. Sabi daw, what is the probability that a laptop will last less than 3 years? So, probability of x is less than 3. Kung babalikan nyo yung previous slides natin, doon dinidiscuss ko pala yung concepts ng exponential PDF. May makikita kayo doon na ganito, di ba? Probability that x is less than x is equal to 1 minus e raised to negative lambda x, di ba? Then probability of x is greater than x is equal to simply e raised to negative lambda x. So ano bang ibig sabihin yan? Every time we use this kasi, itong e raised to negative lambda x, ang makukuha natin, for example, gamitin natin to, yung probability of x is less than 3. So, dito si 3, no? So, substitute natin yung lambda and si x. Ang makukuha natin dyan lagi, pag ito yung formula, or ito yung equation na ginamit natin, ang laging makukuha ay yung values to the right ni x. No? Since ang interested tayo na makuha yung value na less than x, so ang hinahanap natin dapat talaga itong nasa kaliwa. Alam natin nga na ang total area under the curve ay 1. So, simply, 1 minus, itong makuha natin sa dito. So, ito yun. 1 minus e raised to negative lambda x. So, apply lang natin yung formula. Probability that x is less than 3 simply equal to 1 minus e raised to negative 0.20 times 3. Okay? So, our probability of x less than 3 is equal to 45.12%. Okay? So, for letter D naman. Letter D daw, ay hinahanap ay probability that a laptop will last more than 10 years. So, probability that X is greater than 10. So, apply lang ulit natin yung formula. This time, since interested naman tayo, no, na sabihin natin dyan si 10. Interested tayo sa values or the area under the curve to the right of 10. So, simply, it is equal to e raised to negative lambda x or equal to e raised to negative lambda times 10. Probability of x is greater than 10 is equal to 13.53%. Okay? Then next, for letter E, we are asked to find the probability that x is greater than 4 but less than 7. So, paano natin i-analyze yan? Ang alam lang natin ay nakukuha yung nasa kaliwa ay nasa kanan. So, paano naman kapag may given tayo na specific range lang? So, draw natin si graph para mas ma-visualize natin. Okay, sabihin natin nandito banda si 4 at nandito banda si 7. Ang interested tayo, area under the curve ay ito. No? So, paano natin makukuha yan? Try nyo isipin Try nyo isipin ng sarili nyo. Pwedeng possible na probability of x is less than 7. No? So, ano yun? Pag sinabing x less than 7, ito yun. Yan. Minus probability of x less than 4. So, ano ba si probability of x less than 4? Pag sinabing probability of x less than 4, nandito siya. Ganito. Yan. So, kapag sinubtract mo yung green mula sa yellow, ang matitira sa'yo ay ito. Ito nga yung matitira sa'yo. Okay? So, solve natin. Basic na basic lang. Apply lang natin yung formula. Para kay probability of x less than 7, 1 minus e raised to negative 0.2 times 7 minus 1 minus e raised to negative 0.2 times 4. Lang yun. Pag in-input sa calculus, makakalabasan ay probability of x is greater than 4 but less than 7 is equal to 0.20273 or simply 20.27%. Okay? So, yun lang naman yung sample problem natin for the continuous probability density functions. So, magbibigay ako ng activity as I said earlier, no? So, kasama rin to sa pag-upload sa G-Class. Yung activity, bukod pa sa notes nyo for this lecture, so bukod dun sa notes, may isa pang activity na sasagutan nyo. Then, ang deadline ay baka Wednesday. Okay? So, thank you for listening, guys. Tomorrow, face-to-face discussion naman tayo ng Module 5. Thank you and see you guys.